is a toy factory. How'd this chocolate river get here? Who the heck are you guys?
We are the Badinkadings! You set us free when you remodeled the factory. We've been trapped in the basement for years, making foam peanuts and snipping the tabs off of plastic. We will now lay waste to the circus dwellers!
Okay, then. Carry on.
Hello, and welcome to episode 8 of the podcast organization without a cool acronym. We are here, and we are here to talk more Phineas and Ferb. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Steve, and Mike. Joining me is Pecan Court Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
All right.
This is our 9th day of summer, and this means that we are still on this daily journey of reviewing Phineas and Ferb. Now, I know, when you were watching these episodes that we're going to be reviewing tonight on day 9 anyway, or day 8, I should say.
8?
You watched these?
9?
Yeah, 8 days of, yes, 8 days of, I'm just so out of it today, folks. Okay, so I know in preparation for recording these podcasts, these episodes of Phineas and Ferb, you watched them with your boys. What was that? What were their reactions to Jerk to Soleil and Toy to the World?
So, well, they enjoy this. They enjoy watching it. My youngest boy is very animated. He just rolls around and laughs really loud, like to the point where you think he's trying to annoy you with it.
Mm-hmm.
And my oldest boy, when something cool happens, he'll actually just get up on the couch and jump. And on the one hand, it's like, don't jump on my couch, And on the other hand, it's just adorable to watch him react to the show.
Yeah, there should be no monkeys jumping on the bed.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed. That's right.
I haven't heard that in decades. Oh my god.
It's been about half a decade for me.
Oh god, I have not heard that.
I've heard every permutation of monkeys on the bed. There's monsters on the bed. There's something on the bed. Yeah, we've had a lot of those.
There's badgers on the bed.
Badgers.
Narwhals.
Badgers on the bed. Badgers.
All right, so as I said, we're here to talk about Jerk to Soleil and Toy to the World. We're going to get to the Jerk to Soleil after this.
This looks great, Ferb. Hey, have you seen Perry? I put on his costume.
Okay, Agent P. Dr. Doofenshmirtz is buying biomechanical equipment and elocution tapes. We don't know why. Where are you going, Agent P? Wait. Don't go. I'm not laughing at you. I just heard a funny joke earlier this morning. And please, Agent P, turn around so we can conclude our meeting. Carl, what's your email? Oh, I'm going to send this to you.
Hey, Twerp, I brought the props for my act.
Buford, what exactly is your act?
I fly into mud with a paper bag on my head.
Okay, then.
The peeps are gonna love.
All right, first up is Jerk to Soleil. The boys create a cirque for the neighborhood after their original circus plans are canceled. While Jeremy gives Candace wild parsnips, which she is allergic to, and Dr. Doofenshmirtz creates a device to make people's voices higher, so his own voice will seem lower, but instead it gets even higher.
Yeah, that's evil.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
It's all very French.
I am so not the circus goer. Like, I don't care if it is Dick Grayson and his family. I don't care. I will not go to
Flying Graysons. Yeah.
Yes. The Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey's, or whatever the hell it used to be called. Yeah. I'm just not a circus person.
What's funny is I've been to a regular circus, like with animals and trained animals, let's say. And I've also been to like a cirque, which is a complete different thing.
Yeah.
It's apples and oranges. It's a cirque is like art.
It's almost like a magic show. It's a stunt show for the performers, not the.
It's kind of like a stunt show. It's similar but different from like the Shaolin monks. You know how they have these acts that require extreme balance and body skill. But generally, those are just like a series of acts. But the Cirque du Soleil, well, I've been to like 5 Cirque du Soleils, and each one like tells a story in art.
Yeah.
They're really interesting. They're if you'd have to like see it on. I think you can find them on YouTube or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just like clowns and lion taming and bearded ladies who breathe fire, and I'm just like, no.
No, I know. I've seen I've seen some pretty funny clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've taken the boys to 3 or 4 different circuses, like the little traveling ones, not like the Ringling Brothers. That's really big.
That's the big time right there.
Yeah, that's like the high watermark for like that type of circus, the traditional circus. But like
Ringling Brothers is like is to circuses as Penn and Teller are to Las Vegas.
Okay, I'll buy that. Sure.
I'll buy that for $1.
Buy that for $1. So not to go too far down the rabbit hole.
All right. So the general plot here, I do like that this is one of their adventures for the summer.
That's the type of thing you do in the summer, right?
Yeah.
Go ride the camels.
Yeah.
That was not a euphemism. That's actually something I've done. So.
If it was going to be an innuendo, you would have said go ride the camel toes.
Oh, you went there.
You paved the way.
That's right.
So the Doofenshmirtz plot. What? Why? They're like, how is that going to help you take over the tri-state area? It's been the same thing we've said every day so far this summer. Sometimes the A story is awesome, sometimes the B story is awesome, sometimes neither are, sometimes both are, and sometimes it's one or the other, and it's like, how can you, like...
Sometimes you're just scratching your head going, how did that happen? Did they even come together at the end?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
because Doofenshmirtz had the tent, because Phineas's voice gets really, really high, because the helium thing ends up in the tent.
Yeah, and then the tent flies away. Yeah.
And destroys the machine. Yeah.
It's just so... Yeah.
Yeah. This one... As much as I love Phineas and Ferb, and I love that we're doing this show, this is probably one episode out of all 104 that I will never watch again.
Yeah, well, it had a few cool moments. It had a few moments I will highlight for you.
Yeah, yes, we do moments. All right, what do you got?
Perry's always coming in through the ceiling or something, breaking something. And Doofenshmirtz says, could you just come in through the front door from now on? And they look over at the front door, and there's like cannons, just like this death trap door. And he kind of gives him this look like, seriously. Have you, and again, this might be a little off topic, have you seen the Venture Brothers?
No, I never have. I know Jen wants me to watch it eventually, and I will once we're in the same place and all that. But I have never seen that show.
Oh, it's awesome. It really is. If there's a show that deserves a podcast, it's Venture Brothers.
It's Venture Brothers.
It's Venture Brothers. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so my point is, since you've never seen it, you might not understand the reference here. But there's a character on that show called Dr. Girlfriend. It's like this painfully hot, like model type supervillain, but she sounds like this, She has this guy's voice. There's this cracking dissonance. It's like I really want to be aroused, but I can't because she's got this voice. But that's what this reminded me of. 'Cause Candace gets her parsnip allergy kicks in, and her voice changes, and it's like, oh, this is Dr. Girlfriend, because she sounds like a blues artist.
That type of setup will come in a late. I do remember this. There's I think Doofenshmirtz gets into a traffic accident or something, and some really old fat chick pops out of the car that he hit, and he says, "Oh, sir, I'm sorry. Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry, ma'am," because she's got that
voice.
That kind of voice.
Yeah, that's awful. But now that we've mentioned that, this is the first time they've talked of. I think this is the first time they've talked of Candace's parsnip allergy.
Yes, this is the first time they mentioned it.
Okay. It comes into play later.
Oh yeah.
But I really like the song.
Topiary.
The topiary, that's right. Wait, what do you mean behind the topiary? No. We're foreshadowing. I'm sorry.
Sorry, folks.
2 years ahead of time. That's funny though. The parsnips. I keep wanting to say parsley. You can have a parsley allergy. It's possible.
You can, but she doesn't.
She doesn't. It's wild parsnips. That's right. Parsnip topiaries. Those boys are evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember? You might not remember this. It's an old movie called Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nobody gets out of here without singing the blues.
That's right.
That's why I thought, like Candace, like, what do you mean I can't leave? You can't leave without singing the blues. All right.
That's right.
She totally pulls it off. This is a great song.
Even though this isn't going to tie back to Phineas and Ferb, it's going to tie back to another one of our favorite shows. Did you know that the Kingpin was the original Thor in Adventures in Babysitting?
What?
Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Kingpin on Daredevil, was Thor in Adventures in Babysitting.
No. Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I was not aware of that. Huh. Okay, then.
Absolutely. All right. Back to the Cirque here. Yep. What I love is they got... Oh, she had the bag over... That's how they tied it in. She had the bag over her head because of the parsnips. Okay. They mistake Candace for Buford because she's got the bag over her head, and because Buford's whole...
she's wearing the sweatpants and the sweatshirt, and it looks like Buford.
Yeah.
The Amazing Baggo.
Yeah, the Amazing Baggo. And Buford's whole thing is he wants the mud.
I still get the mud, right? Yeah, you get the mud. All right, I'm good. Just fire me into the mud.
They get Candace by accident. They fire her. Phineas says something along the lines of, "Wow, she must have been a lot. He must have been a lot thinner than we calculated."
Yeah, weight differential. That'll get you.
Because the whole audience is just kind of stunned because she went flying out the top of the tent. Yeah. And Buford's just standing there like, this is my moment. How dare she steal my moment? And he goes over and dives in the mud and says, look, everybody, I'm over here. Phineas is like,
ta-da.
Get over there.
It's amazing.
Ta-da. Yeah, ta-da.
Yeah. It's a twin brother act.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice Jeremy's mom plays the drums?
Yep.
That was kind of cool. I don't think they actually introduced her. We just know that it's a trio, and they're at her house, and she's not either of the other two's mother. So. Yeah,
they don't. The only mom that we know outside of Linda is Mrs. Garcia Shapiro, who is Isabella's
mom, right? And she was there.
We will hear on the phone the last name of Stacy, because Candace in a later episode of the show, because Candace says, "Oh, hi, Mrs." and it's Stacy's mom.
Who's got it going on?
He's just waiting for that, folks. All right, so that, and Yeah, they don't introduce Baljeet's mom. They don't introduce Buford's mom. In this episode, they introduce them all later.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that is said about Jeremy's mom is the very end of this episode when Candace comes crawling back into the backyard and the parsnips have cleared up and Jeremy says, "Oh, Candace, my mom played me some of their CD. You're singing. It's great. How'd you get your voice to be like that?" "Oh, same like all the other blues singers, wild parsnips." So they do make reference to Jeremy's mom. They're just not introducing her as a full-on character yet.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay.
What is that?
Yeah?
For the no, we don't moments, the only thing I wrote down was, I've never been a fan of circuses, but Phineas and Ferb make it seem harmless.
Harmless. Clowns are evil. I'm just going to throw that out there. You know.
Yes, they are. Especially if you watch that certain Stephen King movie.
Oh, they're making a remake of that.
Oh God, no! Why?
Yeah, that's about how I felt. You can't do better than Pennywise. He's a horror icon. Tim Curry is just the man.
Only thing that I remember out of that movie is the scene where the clown pops out and says, "Kiss me, fat boy."
No.
It's the only thing I remember.
My favorite is, "Come on down here. We all float down here." Yeah. Chrissy is scared to death of that clown. And
as she should be.
I'll be like, "Beep, beep, Chrissy." And she's like, stop it. Come on down here, Chrissy.
Okay, so since we're talking about clowns and everything else, I have to bring this up.
Yeah.
A few years ago, our good buddy Lauren Lester, the voice of Dick Grayson, Robin, Nightwing on Batman the Animated Series and all the other stuff that he did for DC Animated Universe, he and his wife Kelly were in a short film about clowns. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I thought of was, wow, he went from being Robin to being the Joker.
Oh, he's dressed as a clown.
Yes.
Creepy.
At the end of the short.
Just creepy.
Yeah. All right. Any no you don't moments for you? Anything you didn't like about this one?
Offhand, I can't remember the B story. Oh, that's right. There was helium involved.
His voice. He wanted to have his voice. He wanted to make everyone else's voices higher, so his would be lower in comparison.
That is how memorable that story was. Yes.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not, I have no approach. I don't have my normal approach for cartoon review podcasts when it comes to Phineas and Ferb, because I don't want us to sit here and overanalyze and over-nitpick things, but just a general statement of, I'm sorry, the B story doesn't hold up to the A story pretty much says it all about part of this cartoon. We both love this. We wouldn't be doing 104 days of podcasting for this if we didn't love what we're talking about. But it's so disappointing.
They can't all be gems,
Yeah, I know.
Toy to the World was pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. We'll get to that here in a minute. What would you rate Jerk to Soleil?
Oh man, if I gave it a 2, would that be bad? If I gave it a 1.5, would I be a bad fan?
Which one are you?
Well, no, I'm gonna go with 2, basically because those boys are evil. When shortly after this came out, on Disney Channel, they played Those Boys Are Evil as like an in between music video. Mm-hmm. So in between shows, instead of showing a commercial, they'd show Those Boys Are Evil as a and like a music video, the title and the name of the show would pop up in the corner, right? By Candace Flynn, right?
Yep.
And I mean, it gets stuck in your head.
It does.
Yeah.
Those evil little boys.
Those evil little boys. EVILBOYS.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm also going to give it a 2. Like I said, it's not one that I'll probably ever go back and watch. Because I've got, and you'll hear it at the end of the episode today, folks, of the podcast, I can listen to Evil Boys any day I want, because I've got the Phineas and Ferb soundtracks. So I don't need to rewatch this episode to hear the song. So, all right, we're gonna move on to Toy of the World. That's what it is.
That's what it's called.
Thought it was Toy of the World, but no, it's Toy to the World.
It's a riff on Joy to the World.
Yes, it is.
And all the boys and girls. And all the fishies in the deep blue sea. And toys for you and me.
Please do not break into narwhals.
No. I already broke in the badger. Sorry.
Well, that's part of it.
That can't be helped. Can't be avoided. I'm sorry.
As you can see, our sales have plummeted. Kids just aren't interested in climby toys anymore.
Yeah, but we've always made climby toys. I mean, who could forget Climb and Simon? But what about Ascendant Brendan? And then, of course, there's Ladderman Larry. Or that classic Climby Jaime.
Stop it! Ow. What we need is a fresh, new toy.
Greetings, movers and shakers. I'm Phineas, and that's Ferb. And do we have a toy for you?
Hold on there. Aren't you a bit young to be toy designers?
Well, I don't think so. And now it's fresh, it's new, it's incredibly hip. Soon to be the biggest hit of the new toy season, Harry! The platypus.
What does it do?
That's the beauty part. It does absolutely nothing. Now it can be anything we want, like an airplane, or a race car, or maybe a bucking bronco. He can even turn a mean tango.
Just a minute. We could promise the moon without really promising anything. Ooh, I love it.
All right, folks, Toy to the World. The Hardy Har Toy Company's new bestseller prompts Phineas and Ferb to make a better toy. Dr. Doofenshmirtz, meanwhile, tries to become rich by forcing people to use his toll booths to get in and out of the tri-state area.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Moo.
Sorry. All right.
Okay, so first of all, we are both. Well, I used to be. You still are. But I used to be a huge toy fanatic. So this review might run us a little bit longer than normal because there are so many toy comparisons.
So many toys.
So many toys, so little time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a lot of toys. Did I mention that?
Yes. Yes, you do.
That was one of my first notes, is Hasbro should be taking notes on toy design.
Yeah. Did the... Oh, yes, it did.
Oh.
God, your memory loss is rubbing off on me. I was trying to think if the B story came into the A story at the end, and it does, because Doofenshmirtz ends up in the factory, and yeah.
Just barely,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his scheme that is kind of lame. Real, I'm sorry, toll booths, really? Seriously?
Well, he is trying to take over again, I guess. That's one way to do it.
He is, but I
need a toll booth. They're great. He's gonna build a wall, and he's gonna make them pay for it.
Please. This is even though most of these episodes are going to be marked explicit, we're hoping some children still listen to this. Please do not bring the crump of Trump into this podcast.
Oh, it's Trumpy Dumpy. He climbs up a wall. It's one of those climbing toys. It's like Shimmy Jimmy.
Oh no, you didn't.
What?
Trumpy Dumpy.
Trumpy Dumpy.
Oh my
God.
God.
It's climbing the wall. Jimmy Shimmy was awesome. He has his own song. And the line that stuck with me in the Jimmy Shimmy song was, "Better watch what he's throwing. He ain't wearing no pants." I was like, oh my God. I love the potty humor, and this made me giggle a lot.
Yeah, so we got Shimmy Jimmy. It's the brand new toy from the Hardy Har Toy Factory. And
was it Climb Simon?
Climb Simon, Ascendant Brendan.
Trumpy Dumpy.
No, that's a reject automatically. Let's see, Climb Simon, Ascendant Brendan, Ladderman Larry, and there was something else. I forget.
You didn't write them all down? I did not write them down. I just thought it was funny. He's like, well, all of our toys are climbing toys. Climb Simon, Ascendant Brendan.
So That's what I was talking about here in the plot section.
This is
It's
why
like,
Hasbro should be taking notes. They're like, whoa.
yeah, how is it that the Hardy Hard Toy Company has survived forever? How long that they're in business?
Yeah.
Like, how is it they survive on just climby toys? And they're not even good climby
Not
toys.
even good.
They're like three. Like, take the gorillas from the PC game Rampage out of the PC, and that's essentially what you have here.
You know, it's funny, though. If it were Hasbro, then Ascendant Brendan would have just been a repaint of Shimmy Jimmy.
Yeah.
The same toy, it's just different color. Maybe retool it, give another head, make you pay twice as much for it.
Yep.
This is a running commentary, folks. I'm sorry.
I really wish Hasbro would buy Mattel so they could call it Hazmat. I really wish they did. I'm sorry.
Then all their toys are hazardous materials.
That's right.
Awful.
All right, the yes we do moments. The Perry ideas from the marketing guy, the sales guy. Those are all awesome. And then they get to the one where it's like Secret Agent
Perry. I told you, he's a platypus. He doesn't do much.
They don't do anything. Here you go. Perry the Platypus in action figure. It does nothing. You're a genius. There you go.
He's just a platypus.
Yeah.
Aren't you a bit young to be toy designers?
No, I don't think so.
It's nice to see young people taking an interest in toy design.
That's right. The one scene that always makes me crack up, and I actually recorded the clip before we even started this whole journey. I actually already have it. The Chocolate River scene. Oh my god.
What are you guys doing here?
Scene with the Padinkadinks, and I'm like, oh my god. We are the Padinkadinks. We were trapped in the basement for years making foam peanuts and stuffing something. He says making foam peanuts and stuffing something, or ripping the tags off of mattresses or something. He says something else along with stuffing foam peanuts. And then he goes, we will now lay waste to the surface dwellers. Phineas is like, okay, then carry on.
All right, have fun then. I'm really surprised they haven't shown up again. Like, it'd be funny if they were like in a town, you know, and the Quinkydinks are like running in the background or something. You know, it's just like just off in the corner, laying waste to the surface world.
Oh my god. This is a toy factory. What the heck is this Chocolate River doing? You know that's a Wonka reference right there.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know?
It's the only toy factory I can think of with a Chocolate River running through it.
Yeah.
I've been to Hasbro's headquarters. There was no Chocolate River.
That's a damn shame.
First
job ever.
That would be the first thing I would do.
Yes, Chocolate River.
Chocolate River. Speaking of the assembly line, I'm watching the characters or the assembly line workers. Right, they're being swung around on ropes. You know, they're being lowered down with like rivets, adding parts onto the Perrys in the assembly line. And my first thought is, OSHA would never approve of this. This is not ISO 9000 compliant. This whole place is going to get shut down.
For a second there, I thought you just said this is not HAL 9000 compliant.
HAL 9000 compliant. That's right. I'm afraid I can't allow this. I say, Phineas, what are you doing? I'm shutting you down, Hal. I'm afraid I can't allow that, Phineas.
It's just so wrong.
He's just a platypus.
He's just a platypus.
He doesn't do much.
So, what's the deal? Okay, I should have looked this up before we did this, but I'm sorry. I just have to ask, and maybe it makes me stupid for not knowing.
What?
Doofenshmirtz Evil Annex Building. What the Ferb is an annex building?
Ferb is an annex.
What is an annex? Yeah, I'm like, what the heck?
You know, it's an annex. It's where the overflow from the evil corporate headquarters goes over to the annex.
Okay.
You know what bothered me, and not so much the evil corporate annex, because I know what that is. Okay.
He says experience.
Yeah. No, I was bothered that there was no Inator.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no innate. It's a wall with a toll booth. I mean, how is Perry going to stop this if there's nothing to destroy or unplug and you can't go
Yeah,
over?
they kind of flipped around, getting into the no, we don't moments. They kind of flipped around the B story where there's no Nador because Doofenshmirtz eventually runs across the rooftops and falls into the toy factory, and he ends up collapsing into a million Perry the Platypus in action figures. And his reactions, though, I know this is the no, we don't moments, but I'm sorry, his reactions are priceless. When all the toy platypi are all around him, it's just hilarious.
It's just funny. There's a
And then
platypus.
they do
Perry the Platypus.
Oh God!
What's funny though is that we're gonna get into that. Never mind. Okay.
No,
I won't get too far ahead of myself.
He does this all the time. We know this. He does a platypus.
Yeah.
Perry but there's one that it just really. Coming up late in a couple of days, there's an episode that he does that where it's like, oh my God, Sarah, how do you not know?
How could you not tell? What's funny though is not even Phineas knows because Perry was standing there right next to him with a hat on. And Phineas comes over and picks them up and says, "Come on, people! I thought we weren't going to do this."
We weren't going to do this.
Throws them in the garbage.
That's the beauty of the thing with the marketing thing earlier. That's the beauty of that inside joke. Perry the secret agent, Perry the That's the beauty of being able to explain away why Phineas never knows.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, why Phineas and Ferb never know is because Perry's always wandering off elsewhere when they're not around. Yeah.
Where's Perry? I don't know. He's off superheroing or secret agenting, and then he comes back. Oh, there you are, Perry, and he's like doing that sound that only D. Bradley Baker can do.
Mm-hmm. Who would buy a brick for a toy? 1,000,000 '80s kids with Transformers.
It's a brick. Yeah, but it's got die-cast parts, so. It makes it
die-cast construction. It's a lost art.
A lost art. That's right. They don't do that anymore unless you're in Japan. Occasionally, they'll.
Yes.
They'll do that just for the collectors. But okay, I gotta say the in the Phineas story because honestly, there wasn't a whole lot of Doofenshmirtz in this one, but they go to a toy company and they say, hey, we want you to make this toy, and the boss is voiced by J.K. Simmons.
Yep.
I did not realize this until about midway through, and I'm like, that voice, that's Cave Johnson from Portal 2. Aiden just recently beat Portal 2, and now he's working his way through the downloadable content and the internet levels and stuff. And in between each one, Cave Johnson pipes in. And to introduce the levels or something, and his dialogue is so funny. He delivers.
J.K. Simmons is an amazing actor. Whether it's just using his voice, whether he's in a cartoon, whether he's dressed as Spider-Man, because that did happen.
Dressed as Spider-Man, or because he actually Played J. Jonah Jameson.
There's a you know how in this day and age we always get extended cuts or, hey, this new DVD version of this movie has 8 minutes of unseen footage. Well, the Spider-Man 2.1 DVD edition of Spider-Man 2 actually has outtakes and stuff of J.K. Simmons in the suit as J. Jonah Jameson in The Office. Because the whole part of that movie was when Peter gave up the suit.
Yeah.
JJJ had it in his office, so yes, he actually
and he tried it on.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But for those of us like me who've never played Portal 2 or anything else, J.K. Simmons is, the guy who was one of the doctors on Law and Order. He's the guy in the Farmers Insurance commercials, and obviously he's J. Jonah Jameson. But you're right, the guy, his voice, his the line of his where he's like, "You mean we could promise the world without even promising anything?" Oh, the money we're going
Oh,
to. He
money.
doesn't say this, but
Yeah.
oh, the money they're going to make. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I recognized the voice, and I had to wait till the end of the episode to make sure it was him, and I was like, oh, that's awesome.
It's so very
What's
awesome.
interesting is that we're not that far into the first season, and there's already, you know, I don't want to say it like outside voice talent, but celebrities that are coming in wanting to do voiceovers.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, by this time and going further, the celebrities and the stars we all know and love, everybody, that was the greatest thing at the time when this show was being produced. Everybody would drop whatever they were doing to be on Phineas and Ferb.
Right. That's it.
That's how popular the thing was.
It's a good show.
Right.
Lastly,
Yes.
I was going to say, I don't know if we're going to talk about things we didn't like. I don't know if there's so much I didn't like about this, but lastly, the Jeremy quote, "At least you don't have a weenie on your head." Did you ever watch The Whitest Kids You Know?
No.
Okay. It was a ensemble comedy set piece, and they did a skit. Oh God, what was it called? It was one about a guy who went to a fortune teller, and the fortune teller was laughing at him, and he's like, "Well, why are you laughing at me?" And she says, "Well, you have a naked ghost on your head." And he's like, "Get him off, get him off!" And he's like, "Oh, you can't get him off like that." He's laughing, he's laughing at you. He thinks it's funny. So the guy he's a businessman, and he goes into work, and people are laughing at him, and he's like, "You're laughing because you can see it, can't you?" And he's pointing at his head, But it reminded me of, at least you don't have a weenie on your head. Although in the cartoon, full disclosure here, it was actually a hot dog.
Yeah.
On his hat.
Yes.
It was a weenie beanie.
Yeah. Ew. Yeah.
It's a beanie with a weenie on his head.
He works for Slushy Burger, and Slushy Burger also sells slushy dogs. So
That's a slushy dog. Is that when they changed their name to Slushy Dog?
I don't know. What would you rate Toward the World?
I had a lot of fun. I'd probably give it a 3.
Really? That low?
Well, again, there's no inator.
Yeah.
Doofenshmirtz, he was barely even bad in this. I felt kind of bad for him because he's like, "Hey, I want to I have a legitimate business idea that I would like to implement." And he just wants to make some money on the side with toll booths. Nothing nefarious about this. And he ends up, falling into a very dangerous work environment that OSHA would shut down in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I gotta give this one a 5. Yes, the Doofenshmirtz story is lackluster, but the reaction of him landing in the toy factory is just priceless.
Yeah.
And the whole ending with him about, is that seawater I smell? I'm seasick. Am I on a boat? Like the whole thing, just everywhere.
Just like cart him off and send him to Africa.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and really, seriously, what really sells this is the A story with, Toy to the World and the whole toy factory thing.
Yeah.
And those damn Beninkadinks, they just wanted a little less surface.
Do you remember like Ren and Stimpy?
No. I know of Ren and Stimpy, but I never watched that damn show.
One of the things that Ren and Stimpy was a fake commercial called "It's Log," and it was literally like a toy commercial for little kids. They're supposed to be like the Slinky commercials. It's Slinky, Slinky. It's fun for a boy and a girl, Except here it was Log. It's Log. It's Log, and the kids are playing with this log, and that's what this reminded me of. In action log or brick.
Yeah.
It's brick. It's a brick. It's fun.
Now who would buy that? All right. We're going to take a quick break, come back with final thoughts and all that good stuff after this.
This one is dynamite. Secret Agent Perry the Platypus, huh?
Do you have anything else?
No, I don't. Perry the Platypus in action figure. It does nothing.
That's it.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for day 8 here on the podcast Organization Without a Cool Acronym. So far, out of however many, 10 episodes, 11 episodes, 1 out of 11 or whatever it is, 1 episode that I'll never watch again, which is Jerk to Soleil. That's not bad.
It's like when you go back and watch them all in order again in 10 years or so, you're going to specifically skip that one.
Yeah, I'm just going to have my Netflix set to start at Tour of the World.
All right, then.
All right. Thank you for joining us here on Palca. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on this and all our other episode posts. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter. At TFG and Mike is my Twitter. You can follow at GeekCastRadio for all the network updates. What is your Twitter?
Pecan Court Michael.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/GeekCastRadio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Palca and wish you'll join us next time when we'll be giving you our thoughts on the next episode of Phineas and Ferb, which is One Good Scare Ought to Do It. This is the second two-parter? Yeah, second two-parter that we've done. For now, I am TFG and Mike with
Michael Wilson.
Thank you for listening. Until next time.
That man isn't wearing any clothes.
Oh, that's just great. Any of the rest of you geniuses have an idea?
I found this in my office with a pile of shattered glass, JB.
What's this, a brick? That's brilliant.
It's fun.
Now, who would buy a brick for a toy?
It does absolutely nothing.
It's fun.
Sweet! They have it!
Oh, wow, they've got the brick!
These brick toys are selling like pancakes. Candace, keep up the great work.
One at a time. One at a time! You'll get your bricks.
Hey, Candace, the things they make us wear, huh? At least you don't have a weenie on your head.
He understands me.
It's fun.